Hey, what's happening guys? It's Mark back here from Mark's Aquatics. On today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to start emptying this tank into this bucket, and we're going to start the Amano breeding project off.
Just me and my guitar.
I don't know if you saw the last video, but I've got a lovely big female in my aquascape in my living room, and she's absolutely full of eggs. Easy to a couple of thousand eggs on there, I'd say. So we're going to try and hatch some. So what I've done is I've moved all my Bloody Marys from this tank now into the tank next to it, actually where my tripod's sitting at the moment. If you look back on one of the previous videos, you can see all those. I've moved them in together, so I've got a bit of a mixed colony down there now, which I don't mind. We're just going to let those go on. So I've got the Caradinas at the top, the F1s and the Crystal Blacks and Reds up the top here. But what we're going to do now is I'm just going to attach, I've got this small little pump here. There's nothing in this tank now whatsoever, so we connect that onto there and we pop that in the tank. Not forgetting to stick that end in the bucket, which I've done many a time, and the wife's gone crazy. And then we plug it in, and boom, there we go. You can see there's a lot of tannins in the water. I've been soaking alder cones and some Indian almond leaves in there for the top systems. There's not, because I don't like a lot of tannins in the water. I don't mind some, but not too much. It takes the colour out of the prawns, out the shrimp, sorry. Otherwise, and I keep saying shrimps in my videos. Sorry, I've got it mixed up again. Prawns are my videos. Because I say, ex-fishermen, you see, we used to catch prawns, and it's a bit of a habit. I know they're prawns or shrimps, it makes no difference, but everyone refers to them as shrimps, so I suppose I should follow suit. But we're going to fill this up now. I'm going to take some water out of here. It should take quite a lot. It's 2 foot square, that tank you're looking at. And what we're going to do is, we're going to run a separator right through the middle there. We'll cut some glass and we'll silicone that in place there, so we can have our man-made seawater one side and we can have the fresh water the other side, to bring these little Amano babies up, which is going to be interesting stuff. Alright, I won't bore you with this emptying process. I'll stick you on a time lapse or a hyperlapse, whatever it's called, to it'll seem like it's draining pretty quick for you guys. Right, I'll see you in a minute. So far is I've drained it down nearly to the bottom. I'm not sure if there's any more Bloody Mary babies in there, so what I'm going to do is have a little root around first, being very careful to see if there's any left, and if there is, then I'll put them in a bowl and we'll acclimate them to the tank next door. I've taken the main sponge filter out of the back there, pumped it through with some, sorry, clear. I'll put it in the back there, if you can see it there. I'll put it in the top tank just for now to keep that going. We'll have a good look around down here to see if we can find anything else. I don't think there's any. I'll try and straighten this tripod up a minute, bear with me. Yeah, oh, that's a bit better. Got the other sponge filter left in there, which I'll take out in a minute, and I'll pump that through with the water that I've just taken out in the bucket. I've kept one bucket back just to clean them through once, then I'll put them, I'm going to actually take this one out. I'm not going to worry about this one again. This one is going to probably end up drying out, and we'll have to redo this one because it's going to be going into the other side, which is going to have the salt water in, so it's going to have to, it's a complete different ball game with that. but I'll keep that one. We'll clean it out, dry it out, and then we'll get ready to put it back in the other side and get that running as and when. But I can't see any little babies. I'll just show you quickly. Obviously I'm not really in there yet, but there's some different things. I've got the snail trap that we made in there, which has got quite a few in. I thought I'd save as many of those as I can, so I put the trap in there last night to trap a few out for the baby puffers upstairs. Got some catappa leaves, some corn. Also got some mineral balls in there, pardon me, some Java moss, bit of peacock moss, a couple of oak leaves, and some alder cones, which will disperse around the other tanks. And we'll take the stones out and we'll put them elsewhere. Probably just put them out in the garden for now, but and in case I need them again. Right, I'm going to stop you there now. Okay guys, we are back in the shed. As you can see, I've got my piece of glass in front of me, which is 3mm. Doesn't need to be that thick because we're not because it's only a centre brace, and it's not really going to have a lot of weight either side on the for the pressure. So we can get away with 3mm. I've got this this roll here, which I've just scored a line out. Oh, I remember that. You proud? You proud of me? Hey, right. I'm not going to wear them though. Yeah, I will. But I'll put them on my head. The old glass cutter. You've seen that before on my videos. If you ever wonder what that little ball thing was for on the other end, so when you get the glass upside down, you can just give it a short tap like that and it cracks the glass. It's like a little mini hammer on the end. Or you get the glass in those little folds there, different thicknesses, and get it in if it's a smaller piece or a tile, and you can just crack it a piece off. I'll show you in a minute. We'll do a little demonstration piece. That's if all this goes to plan, because sometimes there's little minor flaws in glass, and I'm not a pro glass cutter by any means, so what we'll do is we'll give it a go, and that's all we can do. If it goes wrong, I'll have to do some more. But I've got a big enough piece here, so if it does crack one way, I've got enough the other side. So what I've done is I've measured along here, and we've got 59 centimetres long by 30 centimetres. I've just done it under 30 centimetres, so it just stays below the lip of the main lip of the tank. So we've got a little margin there, and then we've got to slice up a very little small piece at the end, which is the difficult bit, of 3/4 of an inch off the end, which is going to be a bit naughty, I think. Hopefully we'll get away with it. Right then, using this same principle. If you watch my video on how to make a if you watch the other video where I made the bottle snail trap, or the dish feeder, the bottom of the whiskey bottle for your feeder for your shrimp, go back and you'll see me using that again, cutting the glass, so you can learn to cut through bottles and various things like that, which is always handy to know. Right, I might have to actually turn this around at the moment. It's a little bit, and I might have to put a couple of screws in the bench just to hold this, because it's a bit awkward. Right, let me take them off a minute. Alright guys, I've just cut it down a bit, so save you messing about too much watching me. Well, what I've done is I've levelled everything up now with the glass. Because I'm on my own and this is a really short bench anyway, I've put a screw here and a screw here, also one here, so it's going to keep this a lot more rigid. So when I do strive the line across, which we're going to do any second now, it's going to hold this in place, and knots tend to do this all over the place, and we'll end up getting a wonky cut. So and when you do use these, don't forget that you've got the width of the tool itself, so when you put it on the line, you've got to make sure that that roller's in the middle, so you've got that touching the edge, but then the roller is on the line, otherwise you're going to get it a bit wrong. Right then, moment of truth. Hold this down nice and tight. That sounded a good scribe to me, so we can move this out now. bring that back. Short bench anyway. I've put a screw here and a screw here, also one here, so it's going to keep this a lot more rigid, so when I do strive the line across, which we're going to do any second now, it's going to hold this in place and not tend to do this all over the place, and we'll end up getting a wonky cut. So and when you do use these, don't forget that you've got the width of the tool itself, so when you put it on the line, you've got to make sure that roller's in the middle, so you've got that touching the edge, but then the roller is on the line, otherwise you're going to get it a bit wrong. Right then, moment of truth, hold this down nice and tight. That sounded a good scribe to me, so we can move this out now. And bring that back. Along there. Now a good thing to do is if you've got your ruler, or a big long rule like I've got here, if you lift your glass up and then put the line that you've scribed right along the edge of the ruler there, to make sure it's dead on, hold it down this side quite tight, and then just push down and it completely. Right guys, the last one cocked up as you saw. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it never goes right first time all the time, and the ones that tell you it does are lying. Right, so we'll do the same again. One slice across there like that, and then hopefully we bring it off to the side. I'm not sure if you're in frame at the moment, but so there we go. That one worked. There you go guys, we're back from the kitchen. Everything's done. Don't forget, when you're cutting glass or anything to do with glass, wear them guys, alright? You don't want a bit of glass flying up and hitting you in the eye. That would not be good. And run your aluminium oxide paper around the outside, but be really careful that you don't touch the front edge of it, because it will scratch it so quickly. It really will, and ruin the pane of glass. Right, we'll go back into the koi. No, we're in the koi room now. Let's have a look at them, shall we? They're here, look. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hello. Do you want a few bits of food? They're always hungry, my little guys, aren't they? And the weather's warming up nice. There you go. Let's have a little bit. Flip that back up. Happy fish. Right, let's go back into the shrimp room now, and we'll see if this piece of glass fits. See if we cut it right first time. Well, we didn't cut it right first time because I cocked up the first sheet, didn't I? But we'll give it a go. Let's see if it fits. Right guys, I've got you in one hand and a piece of glass in the other, so bear with me. Moment of truth. Oh, like a glove. Look at that. That's what we want. Sorry if my camera works all over the place, but that fits perfectly in there. So we got two equal halves, one for salt water. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to set this tripod up, and I'm going to see if I can get underneath and silicone this in with you watching. But if I can't, I'll get it done and then I'll get back to you. All right. Okay guys, we're back in the shrimp room. As you can see, I've stuck the center the centerpiece in. So now we have two equally sized tanks, one for salt water and one for fresh water for the Amano shrimps and for the larvae as well. And we're slowly getting there. Hope you enjoyed this part of the video on the build, and stay tuned for part 2, which will be coming shortly. Until then, take care of yourselves, love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.
Just me and my guitar.